All right, day 20. Let's get to it. Here's day 19, real quick. So was pretty happy overall with most of the West Coast. For the first time in a while, I was not happy with the Montana Idaho interaction, but it wasn't too bad overall. Just this eastern half of the border here was a little bit messy, but really happy with the width on the states here. Could do a little better on the Nebraska eastern border. The lesson I learned was to start from the bottom on that one, maybe. And then moving east, nothing too bad. Definitely made Maryland have a fat day, and then I looked at New York a little bit and kind of learned a little bit about how that state's configured. So hopefully we'll do a little better with that today as well. Did a little bit on Vermont and New Hampshire as well here, and then just maybe a quick little look at Maine. We can do a little better there as well. So um, let's get right to it. Close all my stuff here. Move this out of the way. Let's go. Alright, as per the usual, we are going to start in the northwest. Yeah, a little bit. Comes out a little bit there. Washington does have like a straight, like eastern border almost. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna be happy with this, but with Oregon there, but we're gonna roll with it and see what happens. All right, California, Nevada, Utah. This goes about half, not quite halfway, like 3/4 of the way maybe. Okay, Idaho might actually be decent today, so we're gonna roll with this one here. Okay, a little peak there. And then almost like a straight down section, and then like that. It's Montana. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Okay, let's see if we can get this just right here. Something like that for Utah. Which means we can hopefully get Wyoming about right. Montana border coincides with that. Actually, that might be one of the better proportioned Montanas I've done. I don't know though. It's gonna remain to be seen. All right, Colorado about the same height as Wyoming. Okay, let's see now. About a third of the way here should make it a square, so it's like that maybe, and then I'm gonna do like a 45-degree angle here. Go like that. And the Utah border, we're gonna kind of come across just like that there. Not bad. I am not unhappy with that, so. These days, not unhappy is basically the same as happy. Alright, let's see. Let's get California's coast in here. Kind of does that number there. That's like another little bay right for San Jose there. And it kind of gradually gets wider, and then we're going to start on Arizona here, which goes in a little bit. And then California kind of comes out like that. like that. There we go. And Arizona actually kind of which way does that go? I think it's like this. I think it actually covers up some of the California southern border, but I could be wrong. Should not be that glaring of a mistake, even if that's wrong there. So I'm just gonna roll with it. Okay, Arizona, and then New Mexico, which is 7/8 of the Colorado border, because it does not make another Four Corners area. Go. And there we go, New Mexico. All right, Oklahoma. Get the Texas Panhandle in here. Not quite as wide as the jug handle part. Bring down the right side there. Now I'm going to mark off the states kind of moving, getting down this alley here. So it's going to be North, South Dakota, Nebraska. Which goes down about a quarter of that, maybe. Kansas, which turns out all four of them are actually close to the same height, and that really helps with this process here. So let's see, there and there. Straight across, and then a little bit out before it goes straight down. Okay, there we go. And then kind of just, I'm not going to really learn the details of the Red River here, but it's there, and we'll figure it out. Louisiana there. All right, and then okay, definitely salvaged a little bit there. That ends up a little too fat, but that's not too bad. I have done worse. Okay, basically drops down like an arc almost, and then it gets kind of a little more gradual after a little drop off. But now I gotta figure out this stupid. I really need to practice Texas a lot more than I have. I'm just kind of eyeballing where I think the southern tip should end up. Like what won't be ugly. I'm gonna try that. Gotta figure out the shape of this part here. It doesn't look quite right, but it's not half bad, but it doesn't look quite right to me either. So part of this whole thing is that I've also become kind of my own worst critic on this, because strictly speaking, a lot of the borders that I do and stuff like that aren't terrible, but I notice the mistakes that I make, even if some of you who watch this, I don't want to say you don't notice them, but like they're not as glaring to you, or maybe, I don't know, but after I've done this 20 times, like it certainly feels like every mistake is a little bit every time I make a mistake, it feels very noticeable to me because I've just from experience, you know. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but I mean, I'm sure it does make sense to you. I'm sure there's things that you'll have done like, 20, 30, 40, 50 times. And it's basically like it's become second nature, and if you mess up, you really notice it, you know. So that's where I am on this. Which might be a good thing. I don't know. Okay, so Chef Mime, while going down the middle of the country here, I always have to kind of eyeball its width because, well, frankly, I don't know. I tend to mess this one up here, but I think one cue that I can actually use to help myself on this is that is the fact that Missouri is basically a square. Actually, if you look at the height and then the width at the bottom, so obviously it doesn't quite fit into a square, but I'm gonna just kind of eyeball the width there, kind of like there, and then pretend that's the boot heel. I mean, that is the boot heel, but do that and then go from here. So like Arkansas, for example, is gonna do like that number, and then the boot heel kind of goes, kind of curls back into the right, to the left, sorry, and then hi, doggy interruption. Hello, Alpha Elf. Hello. I love you too. It's a real good thing she's cute. Okay, we're gonna draw a little bit of Iowa there. It also helps with Illinois a bit because, Missouri drops down and then kind of bulges back out, and drops down again, and then St. Louis bulges back out before it kind of just does that. Okay, so Missouri looks kind of rough, but certainly not the worst I've ever drawn it. I'll put it that way. Okay, Iowa's going to be a little rough there. Small correction. Okay, let's see if we can... So we can make up for it on Illinois here. Good enough. Okay, let's see here. And we're gonna do Minnesota. Kind of a straight part there before it bulges back in. All right, Minnesota's gonna look a little bit unfortunate today, but I've certainly done worse on it, so it shouldn't be my standard whether I've done worse, but sometimes you just take the wins where you can get them, right? Maybe not. Maybe I should be a little harder on myself. I don't know. Yeah, we should all be harder on ourselves. That's exactly what we should be doing. Okay, I'm gonna finish that later. A little risky doing Ohio that early, but I forget what I usually do here at this point. I think I usually just try to finish out Indiana and hope that Kentucky kind of follows along with it. Okay, there we go. Actually, yeah, that's about what I usually do there. Okay, a little Pennsylvania there. All right, well, maybe a little square in West Virginia there, but, again, that could just be me, being my own worst critic again, so. Or I might actually suck, who knows. All right, how are we doing here? UP's gonna have a fat day too on this one. Okay, let's get the rest of the South done here, maybe. Okay, Alabama and Georgia have about the same width, but they have also. Oh, Alabama's gonna have a real fat day. North Carolina's going to have a bit of a tall day, actually, it turns out. Okay, and then Georgia's going to kind of do that, basically. Okay, there we go. South Carolina's going to be real big today. All right, South Carolina is my sacrificial lamb state today. I don't know what happened there. I really had to look at what I did wrong on that one, because that's real bad. Really, South and North Carolina here. I don't know what happened to the eastern half of that state either. We're gonna chalk that up to general incompetence. New York. Then Maine up here, which is again bigger than I think. Not my best up there. Really got to study some more New England here, so. Okay, not bad for the rest of it, actually. Basically, up to like here, I'm pretty happy. So, the East Coast, I really just got to work on that. All right, let's see. Alaska and Hawaii. gotta work on this northern part of Alaska. I feel like I'm happy, like up to like the bottom border. I'm actually pretty happy with, but yeah, the northern border really gotta get the shape of that right because I know that doesn't look quite right. So, all right, and then Hawaii. Let's see. All right, let's see. Places that got better, I would say probably Idaho. Idaho looks a little better than yesterday. Montana looks pretty good, actually. Iowa, I'm actually surprisingly happy with, despite not being that happy with the states around it. I would say Kentucky and West Virginia look pretty decent here as well. Texas, I would say, is pretty good. Louisiana is good. I don't know what happened to Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia here. I'm gonna have to. I suspect it's because Tennessee is a little too narrow, but I could be wrong on that one. And then North Carolina and South Carolina are just a mess on this one here. So we'll do better with that one tomorrow. But overall, not too bad. I still think we're getting better at this, and we'll see what happens in the next 10 days or so, and then see where we end up. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.